So, okay, yesterday we started out with a trailer that was, to say the least, uninspiring, right? It was uninspiring and was very strange. So it was a so basically anybody who watched the show yesterday knew what I'm referring to, and that was Craven the Hunter. So anybody who is familiar with the Spider Verse type of films, okay, knows the cast and knows everything else. Anyways, there was a trailer that dropped today, and I'm gonna play it for you. Not gonna get monetized for that, but that's okay. I'll do the other stories later on. But I have a lot of thoughts about this and where I think this is going to go. So anybody who's unfamiliar with the title, okay, it's called Challengers. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay? So let me play the trailer and I'll get your thoughts on it.
Wait. Hi.
Hey.
Tashi Duncan. She's gonna turn a whole family into millionaires. She'll have a fashion line, a foundation.
You were incredible today.
Thank you.
I mean, it wasn't even like tennis. It was an entirely different game.
Hey, come hang out with us later.
Want me to come tuck you in?
No, we can just keep talking.
How often does this happen? Going after the same girl?
Not as often as you think.
We usually have different types.
So you're saying I should be flattered?
Aren't you everybody's type?
Come here.
Which one of us? He's not in love with you.
What makes you think I want someone to be in love with me?
It's nice to see you lit up about something, even if it's my girlfriend.
Art's got his coach, Tashi Donaldson, who also is his wife.
I'm playing for both of us, Tashi. I think maybe we're disturbed by the fact that she could have been into someone like me.
When we were teenagers.
When we were teenagers.
Hey, I love you.
I know. You don't know what tennis is. It's a relationship. We went somewhere really beautiful together. Let's go! I'm taking such good care of my little white boys.
I assume you planned this?
Not this part.
Okay, first of all, I'm in on this. I'm all in on this, hands down, twice on Sunday. This is such a cool, different role for her. So she's gonna have a huge year coming later on this year. Of course, she's in the Dune Part 2, with Timothée Chalamet and that whole cast. That being said, there's some interesting things about this. Definitely. So Dad says this definitely looks like a guilty pleasure. Yeah, it absolutely is. So let me, I have thoughts about this, okay? Because it's very interesting. Number one, this is a different Zendaya. I mean, she's been in Euphoria and everything else, and that's obviously hardcore drug addiction, everything else. We've also seen the latest side of Zendaya, okay, with Spider-Man Homecoming, No Way Home, etc. There's a couple of interesting facets to this film so there's two types of films. There's a film in which you have one major star, okay, in this case it's Zendaya, and she is the headliner. She is the person that's going to put you in the seats because you don't know those other two guys, okay? Now, one of them is from West Side Story. I had not seen that, okay? And the other one is from another television show. There's a second type of movie, like an Oppenheimer. And yes, it's Nolan, I know. But if you look at that cast, even in Amsterdam, it's a laundry list of who's who. It's Matt Damon. It's Cillian Murphy. It's, Robert Downey Jr. It's all the way down the list. Okay. So, doing a little research about this, looking into the film. Okay. Now, obviously, this is done by MGM. Okay. Going to be distributed by Warner Brothers. This isn't going to blow up for $400-500 million. Let's get that straight right now. But I think they're planning for something in the future. And here's why I say it. So, a couple of things. Number one, this is by the same director, okay, who did Bones and All with Timothée Chalamet last year. Okay. This is also the same guy that did I'm blanking on it here. Here it is. Call Me by Your Name. Okay. Which was done in 2017 in Superior the next week or the next year. Okay. Now, that being said, okay, there was a little person who was the producer on this, and her name was Amy Pascal. And of course, and yes, I'm talking about the Amy Pascal, the same one that produced Spider-Man No Way Home, Across the Spider-Verse, all these other films. I think what they're doing, and yes, this is an MGM thing. Of course, MGM just had that because they have other bigger fish to fry with James Bond and the Creeverse and everything else. I think, and this is just me, I have no inside knowledge about this. I think what they're doing, because you got to remember something, okay? You got to remember something. Before 2017, nobody knew who Zendaya was. She was like Daisy Ridley. The minute she got the Star Wars role, instantaneous fame. The minute she got the MJ role, instantaneous fame. She's blown up. Okay, she's won Emmys. She's in the zeitgeist of society today. She's a fashion model. She's all over the world. Okay? That being said, I think what they're doing is testing her star power. I think what they're going to do, once again, I have no inside knowledge about this. I think what they're going to do is they're going to try and set up an MJ movie, a solo movie. Like I said, total speculation. Because why else would you go to see this movie? Legitimately, okay? If I just showed you guys the trailer, why would you legitimately go to see this trailer or go to see this movie? Why? Zendaya, of course. They want to see how box office bankable she is. It's one thing to do it in television and streaming, and that's fantastic, by the way. It's another thing to do it in box office. And her name's already out there. She's already attached to Spider-Man. She's dating Tom Holland. She's going to be in Dune later on this year. Why wouldn't you try to go get an MJ movie done? It doesn't make sense. Amy Pascal being a producer on this, I think they're trying to set up an MJ movie, solo movie. Do not be shocked or surprised within the next 5 years, okay, if they are actually saying we are developing an MJ movie just for Zendaya. Because it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. Why else would you do this? Now, we don't know what the budget is on this, okay? But I suspect it's not that big. I mean, she is the only person that you're really going to have to pay 10, 15, 20 million dollars. I mean, I'm blowing that up a little, but let's say 10 million bucks. Nobody else. Okay? Who else are you paying? Those two guys? Okay, fine. Let's say they get $1 million each. So I think what they're doing is that, and I know I keep reiterating, they're setting this up. So I don't know. I just think that it's one of those things where, remember, the game is chess. It's not checkers. They wouldn't do this unless they were thinking 3 steps ahead. They wouldn't. I mean, so I think there's something to be said about this. But by the way, like I said, I'm in on this. I'm fully in on this. I think it's going to be a blast. And here's another caveat. This is about a strong female character. The way she comes across in that trailer and her character is going to be, look out. Look out. I think, and I once again I have no inside knowledge about this, because it's fascinating to see um the moving along, how it's going to go, right? I mean, because there's going to be a twist. If I had to guess today, June 20th, 2023, the twist is going to be she's going to screw them both over. That's the twist. That is what I think the twist is going to be. Because in the trailer, okay, he says to her leaning on the bed, "Did you have this all planned out?" And she's like, "Not this part." So she had a plan. Obviously, she planned to get injured. But when this whole thing, the naturalization, she had this thing planned out. And I think she's conning both of them. Okay? I think it's one of those, no pun intended, it's one of those Black Widow type of things. Okay? And I think that she's going to turn around and something's going to happen. Anyways, guys, what do you think about the trailer? Do you think that this is something that you'd want to go see? Do you think I'm right with the whole setting up the MJ type of solo movie? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll get back to everybody.